Hello, this is Sudhakar Moparthi. Today we're going to talk about public IP, private IP, V4 address, how we can map them, how the traffic is allowed into your VPC network or not. So let me go to my c1c2 diagram. Okay, so we have, say you are launching EC2 instances. So you got 3 machines. And obviously it has to be part of your VPC. So you have one VPC, and let's say you have 2 subnets. A VPC can have 1 or more subnets, and this machine is launched it is in this subnet, and this subnet, if we say anything, if we say is public IP address assigned, so that means whenever you launch this instance, we will assign, okay, whenever you launch an instance, you will get an IP address, private IP address within this subnet. Okay. And then this instance may be launched in this subnet, and this may have its own, it will have its own private IP address. The moment you launch, you will get a private IP address to communicate internally within your VPC. Okay. So, all right. So let's assume that this subnet has a public IP address assigned and allowed. So every time you launch a machine, automatically this private IP address will have a corresponding public IP address. Okay. And this information will be available in a route table. And this route table is connected to internet gateway. And then from here, you will get onto the internet. So suppose if from internet, if somebody trying to reach to this instance, let's say to that instance, I'm going to use my invisible pen. So this instance, if they are trying to reach to this instance from internet, it will check in the route table if there is an entry that will allow you to go to this subnet. So that means route table and subnet has to be connected. So this subnet has a route table. This one has that connection. Let me make that permanent connection. So route table. So this is where from internet the traffic comes, and the route table we will know which subnet to go. Once you go to that subnet, at the subnet level itself, whether to allow the traffic or not can be determined with a network ACL. So I can put for each subnet and network ACL. So all these are just names. So that's what the important thing that you need to, they're just dividing how when a request comes in or response goes out, how the traffic should travel. Okay. So the whole mechanism is to allow that. So to prevent undesired traffic going to everywhere, so they can use these interfaces, access control lists, and stop it. So this flag, for example, is public IP address assigned? Yes or no? So the moment you remove this, then it will not be allowed because it won't have a public IP address, and because you don't have a public IP address, you cannot get to that machine from internet. You can get it within your network. So similarly, this network ACL at the subnet level, suppose let's say this one has this machine and couple of other machines. Let's say this machine is also connected to this subnet. So I want to prevent traffic to this too at the subnet level. I can control that using the network ACL. So at various levels, I can control. If I want my entire thing to be stopped and connected to the internet, all I have to do is disconnect this arrow, internet gateway. So if I disconnect this, then my instant, nothing, no traffic comes into my VPC. My VPC has these two subnets, and these two subnets have this route table to specify where the traffic should go. And based on that, then this instance is reached. And every time you launch an instance, you will get your IP addresses private. And then when you say this subnet has public IP associated with it, anything that is launched, and then it will assign a public IP address as well to that instance. So that's all I want to talk today. And we will elaborate more in-depth things about internet gateway and network ACL at a later stage. But for now, these names are important to be remembered. VPC has subnets. Subnets are connected to the route table, internet gateway. Every instance has an IP address, private IP address within the network, and then that can be attached to, that can be assigned a public IP address. So this mapping, this translation, which public IP and private IP translates, is done by the internet gateway using the route table. And then network ACLs are used to prevent traffic and control the traffic at the subnet level itself. These are instances. I think that's good enough for today. Good luck and all the best. And you can go and read all this private IPv4 address, public IPv4 address, etc. under Amazon Virtual Private Cloud User Guide. Good luck and see you in the next video. Bye-bye.